Very good morning to one and all. This is Dr. B. Santana Krishnan. Going to talk about the Unit 4, Module 2 of Basic Electrical Electronics Engineering. The slides are prepared by Dr. B. Paramasivam and Dr. S. Ramesh Kumar, Associate Professor, Department of EEE, Government College of Engineering, Board in Agno. On this presentation, we are going to talk about the another interesting part of electronic circuits and devices, operational amplifier, generally called as the op-amp. So this presentation consisting of introduction, what is op-amp, what is the circuits of op-amp, operation amplifier picture, there is a pin diagram, and this is the overview of this presentation. First we talk about the introduction. So in the term operation amplifier denotes a special type of amplifier that by a proper selection of its external component could be configured for a variety of operation. So the history of this op-amp is first developed by John R. Raguseen in 1947 with the vacuum tube. In 1960 at Fairchild Semiconductor Corporation, Robert J. Welder fabricated op-amp with the help of IC fabrication technology. In 1968, Fairchild introduced a op-amp that was become an industrial standard. So in 1968, so from onwards, there's op-amp is practical op-amp is used by industrial standard. Then, what is op-amp? Operational amplifier is an DC coupled high gain electronic voltage amplifier. Direct coupled high gain amplifier usually consisting of one or more differential amplifier. Output stage is generally a push-pull or push-pull complementary symmetric pair. This is a diagram of the op-amp. One input, there is a two input terminal, then one output terminal. Op-amp are differential amplifier and their output voltage is proportional to the difference of the two input voltages. The op-amp is schematic symbol is shown in the above figure. Two input terminals called as a inverting and non-inverting terminal. Inverting is a negative terminal, non-inverting is a positive terminal, are labeled with a minus and positive respectively. This is the circuit symbol of op-amp. The figure shows the symbol of op-amp and the power supply connection to make it work. The input terminals are identified by the minus and plus positive symbol. Designate the inverting and non-inverting. Their voltage with respect to ground are denoted as well as Vn and Vp. Output voltage is V0. Op-amp do not have a zero voltage ground terminal. Ground reference is established externally by the power supply common. This is the circuit symbol of the op-amp. Then this is the practical available op-amp model in the market. You can see the left hand side is what's an op-amp looks like today world. You can see the right hand side, there is a black color small pin is available. That's op-amp available in the market today. Then this is the pin diagram of the op-amp. It has 8 pin. Op-amp has 8 pin, generally called as the op-amp is generally called as the IC741. The number of the op-amp is 741, generally called as the integrated circuit 741, generally called as the IC741. It contains 8 pin. So the first pin represent the offset nil. Pin 2 represent the inverting input terminal. Third pin is a non-inverting input terminal. The fourth pin is a VCC negative voltage supply. Fifth pin is offset null. Sixth pin is output voltage. Seventh pin is VCC positive voltage supply. And eighth pin is no connection. This is a pin diagram of the op-amp. Then important terms and equation of the op-amp. A is the gain of the amplifier. Vd is the difference between the voltage. V0 is the gain of the voltage. The equation equal to V0 equal to A into Vp minus Vn. So electrical parameter, input bias current, input output impedance, output loop gain, input offset voltage and input offset current. So what is input biasing voltage? average of current that flows into the inverting and non-inverting terminal of the op-amp. Then impedance of the input-output terminal is the resistance offered by the input and the output terminal to varying the voltages. The quantity is expressed in ohm. Then the loop gain is generally called as the overall voltage gain of the amplification, and the input offset voltage must be applied between two terminal of an op-amp to null the output. Then the input offset current IL the algebraic difference between the current into the inverting and non-inverting terminal. So these are the electrical parameter of the op-amp. Then what is called ideal op-amp? We know that to minimize the loading, a well-designed voltage amplification must draw negligible current from the input source and must present a negligible resistance to output load. Op-amp or number of the op-amp or the number of voltage exception. So we define the ideal op-amp is an ideal voltage amplifier with infinite loop gain A. Infinite A is infinity. It is ideal terminal conditions are IR equal to infinity, R not equal to 0, and IP and IA equal to 0. So ideal op-amp is nothing but the ideal op-amp is nothing but it absorbs the minimum amount of voltage with zero resistance value. Then ideal op-amp follows the gain given property. It has infinite voltage gain A, infinite input resistance RD, so that almost all signal source can derive it, and there is no loading of the proceeding stage. Zero output resistance R0, so that the output can derive an infinite number of other devices. Then zero output voltage when input is 0. There is no output when input is 0. Infinite common mode rejection ratio, so that the output common mode noise voltage is 0. Infinite slew rate, so that the output voltage changes occur simultaneously with the input changes. So whether change in the input, there is a corresponding change in the output. So these are the ideal characteristics of the ideal op-amp. So non-ideal op-amp, this is the opposite to the ideal op-amp. Only the positive and negative terminals are changed their position. Only in positive change this position. There is a single internal input V1 is given to a positive terminal and is applied to the VE pin of op-amp. A signal is also made to appear at minus VE input terminal, but derived from the resistance R1 and R2. Characteristics of ideal op-amp. So already we are discussing about the characteristics. Similarly we are going to discuss about characteristics of non-ideal op-amp. There is a finite open loop gain that causes gain error, finite input impedance, non-zero output impedance, finite common mode rejection ratio, common mode input resistance, finite bandwidth, finite power supply rejection ratio. So this is the characteristics of ideal op-amp. Then what are the application of op-amp is analog to digital converter, power sources, zero crossing detector. These are the major application area for op-amp. So first we go for analog to digital converter. Digital to analog converters and analog to digital converters are important building blocks with the interface sensor. In ADC, analog to digital converter takes analog signal and convert into binary one, while DAC converts the binary signal into analog value. Figure 1 shows the block diagram of such system. An example of such system is a PC sound card. So these are the analog to digital converter is converting the analog signal into digital signal. So op-amp as a current source. A current source can be made from the inverting amplifier as shown in figure. The current in the load resistor R0 must be equal to the current in R1. The current is then obtained by dividing the input voltage by R1. Then zero crossing detector. Zero crossing detector circuit can be used to check whether the op-amp is in good condition. Zero crossing detector can be used as a frequency counter and for switching purposes in power electronic circuit, zero crossing detector is is a basic of op-amp circuit. So zero crossing detector is to finding out the performance of the op-amp. That's why this is called as the whether the op-amp in the good condition or not. Then operational amplifier. So that is the major function of the operational amplifier is to boost the low level signal to higher level signal, generally called as the booster devices. You can see the low level input signal is given to op-amp, then automatically the high level output going to be going to boost the input signal. From the diagram you can easily understand. What is called inverting amplifier. Inverting amplifier is nothing but we are going to connect the supply in the negative terminal. You can see here V2 is the negative terminal. The supply is given to the V2. The input voltage supplied to the V2. From the diagram you can easily understand. The non-inverting terminal generally called as the plus terminal is grounded. Plus terminal is grounded. This is generally called as the inverting amplifier. Then there is a negative feedback. You can see a small in previous diagram. You can see here there is a feedback is given. There is a feedback is given to RF, generally called as a feedback is given in previous diagram. So negative feedback is a process of feedback. A fraction of the output is back to the input, but make the feedback is negative. We must feed it back to the negative or inverting input terminal of the op-amp using the external generally called as the feedback resistor RF. This feedback connection between the output and the inverting input terminal forces the differential input voltage towards zero. This effect produces closed loop circuit to the amplifier, resulting in gain of the amplifier now being called as the closed loop gain. This negative feedback results in inverting input terminal having a differential signal on it. Then the actual input voltage, it will be the sum of the input voltage plus the negative feedback voltage given to the label or in term of the summing point. We must therefore separate the real input signal from the inverting input by using the input resistance Rn. So in non-inverting mode, inverting mode, there is a portion of output going to be given as a input. Similarly, the supply voltage also given, both going to be added, then only the non-inverting amplifier going to be operated. That is called as a negative feedback. There are two very important rules to remember about inverting amplifier or any operation amplifier for that matter. One is no current flow into the input terminal. Other one is the differential input voltage is zero. That is V1 and V2 going equal to zero. Then by using these two rules, we can derive the equation for the calculating the closed loop gain of the inverting amplifier using the first principle. You can see here V1 and V2. V1 is nothing but the input voltage, V2 is nothing but the negative feedback voltage. So both going to be zero, output going to be zero. So these are the equation of the calculating the closed loop gain, V out by V in. Closed loop gain A equal to the output voltage divided by the input voltage. Input voltage is nothing but the combination of source voltage along with the negative feedback. Then Tran resistance amplifier code. Another useful application of the inverting amplifier is the Tran resistant amplifier circuit. A Tran resistant amplifier is also known as the Tran impedance amplifier. Is basically a current to voltage converter. So current is voltage converter, current in voltage. That means you are going to give a current input, then we are going to get a voltage output. They can be used in low power application to convert very small current generated by a photodiode or photodetecting devices etc. into usable voltage, which is proportional to the input current as shown. So you can see here the non-inverting mode. Using the photodiode, we are going to give a small amount of current. There is a feedback resistance is connected. The output is nothing but the voltage. The multiplication of the input current as well as the feedback resistance. Non-inverting mode is connected to ground supply. Then Next one is called non-inverting amplifier. In this configuration, input voltage signal Vin is supplied directly to the non-inverting, that is the plus terminal, input terminal, which means that the output gain in the amplifier becomes positive in value, in contrast with the inverting amplifier circuit. The result of this, that of the output signal is in phase with the input signal. So this is the circuit diagram of the non-inverting amplifier. You can see here the input voltage is directly given to the plus terminal of the op-amp circuit. Then the equivalent potential divider network, you can see here. There's an output. We can calculate the gain of the non-inverting amplifier. Then the application of non-inverting amplifier generally called as the voltage follower. If made the feedback resistor Rf equal to 0 and the resistor R2 equal to infinite, then the circuit would have fixed gain of 1 as well. The output voltage would be present in the inverting input terminal. This would then produce a special type of non-inverting amplifier circuit called voltage follower, or as called as the unity gain buffer. By changing the feedback resistor on the infinite R2 resistance infinity, we can convert the non-inverting amplifier as the voltage follower. This is the voltage follower circuit. You can see here the negative, there is no resistance is present in the non-inverting mode. So V output is directly proportional to the V input. V output is directly proportional to the V input. Then summing amplifier. The summing amplifier is a very flexible circuit based upon the standard inverting amplifier, operation amplifier configuration that can be used for combining multiple inputs. Previously, the inverting amplifier tutorial, that the inverting amplifier has single input voltage applied in the inverting terminal. If we add more input resistance to the input, such input each equal in value of the original input resistor, or we end up with the another. Operational amplifier is called as a summing amplifier, a summing inverter, or even a voltage adder. Then you can go for a multi number of different, you can see the circuit of summing amplifier. So the non-inverting another application of non-inverting amplifier is summing amplifier. We can give a different kind of voltages by connecting different resistance value in the non-inverting mode. From the diagram you can easily understand I1, I2, I3 with the various different input is given to a non-inverting mode. The corresponding equations are calculated. The output voltages are calculated through the equation. So this is the one application of a summing amplifier. We can get a vocal, we can give a guitar, we can give a drum. Each has a different input. We can give it what will be the output. The output is a combination of all. So we can combine all this, we can get the output. So this is a digital to analog converter. In previous we can talk about the analog to digital converter circuit. We can give a digital input, we can convert it as a analog output. So differential amplifier. What is called differential amplifier? If we connect signal, in so far we discussed an inverting and non-inverting amplifier. Only one voltage source going to be connected. So either in inverting mode or non-inverting mode. That means in positive terminal is connected with a single supply voltage, or the negative terminal is connected with a single supply voltage. There is no input there is no two supply is given to any two of terminals. So if you go for a differential amplifier, inverting mode as well as the non-inverting terminals also connected with the two different voltage sources. That's what is called as the differential amplifier. So if we connect signal to both of the input of the same time, producing another common type of operation amplifier, is generally called as a differential amplifier. By connecting one voltage V1 into one input terminal, another voltage V2 into another input terminal, as a resultant Vout will be the proportional to the difference between the voltage of two input voltages V1 and V2. Then the differential amplifier amplifies the difference between the two voltages, making this type of operation amplifier circuit subtract, unlike summing amplifier which adds or sums together input voltage. These types of amplifier circuit commonly known as a differential amplifier. So we are going to connect the two different input. The output is nothing but the either it is the sum of the two output or the difference of the two output. It's generally called as the differential amplifier. Differential amplifier. So this is the differential amplifier circuit. From the diagram you can see here VA is one supply voltage, VB is another supply voltage. We are going to give a two supply. We are going to take output. This is a corresponding equation. What is the V1 and what is the V2? We are going to add it. What is the final V output going to be calculated using the relation V1 and V2. So these are the application of differential amplifier. Some of the application. Then another example of the op-amp as an integrator. If we want to change the pure resistance feedback element of inverting amplifier to the frequency dependent type complex element such as capacitor, what would be the effect on the output voltage? By replacing the feedback resistance, generally the feedback is nothing but a feedback resistance RF. So if you are remove this resistance, you can connect with the capacitor, then the automatically the op-amp is considered to be an integrator. You can see the diagram. The feedback resistance is replaced with the capacitance. The circuit is act as an integrator. We can calculate the output from the equation. We can calculate the output of the integrator. This is a summary inverting and non-inverting output differential amplifier. Then two different inputs are given to the two terminal, and summing amplifier is only one in non-inverting inverting mode. There is a different voltages are going to be given to a non-inverting mode. Then differential amplifier, you can see here as an integrator, the feedback resistance is replaced with the capacitance. So now we are going to talk about what are the advantages of op-amp and the disadvantages of op-amp. So what are the advantages? Op-amp is an universal amplifier. It acts as a voltage comparator, as a precision rectifier, analog to digital converter, digital to analog converter. It used in filters, differentiator, and is act as a differentiator and integrator. If you are the feedback having a resistance, having the resistance, generally called as the differentiator. With the feedback circuit having the capacity, generally called as the integrator. It also acts as a voltage as well as the current regulator. Then it is used in the analog computer. This is the major advantages of the op-amp. Then what are the disadvantages of op-amp is most op-amps are designed for lower power operation. It only operates with lower power. For high input is desired, then the op-amp is specially designed for the purpose. For high input, the op-amp must be specially designed. For most commercial op-amp, shut off when the load resistance below the specific level. The load resistance below the specific level, automatically the op-amp going to be turned off. So these are the disadvantages of op-amp. You can see the diagram. So advantages and disadvantages. Thank you.